and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation. You can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, but you've got to call now. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
The Upper Peninsula's new CBS station, WZMQ 19.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, a house fire leaves one dead in Laurium over the weekend. Plus, President Trump continues to call out Vladimir Putin over the lack of progress in peace talks with Ukraine. And the conversation surrounding drug prices continues to grow in the nation's capital. We'll have the latest from Washington, D.C. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Hey, Kelly, good evening to you. Some clouds overhead, I see.
Yeah, good evening to you, Kevin. We do have some clouds, but for the most part, we're dry across the Upper Peninsula. Also dry on the view of the Lake Lift Bridge right now up to Houghton, and on a wide view on our radar here. Yeah, maybe a few light drizzles out to Bates and the western portions of the Upper Peninsula, but we're mostly cloudy and we're around 70 degrees for the most part. 62 out to Ironwood, a little bit cooler up to Copper Harbor there. But across the nighttime, we could expect some increasing clouds and temperatures in the 40s. I'll have more details on when we can expect a warm up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Kelly. Houghton County officials have released the name of a teenager who was killed in a residential fire over the weekend in Laurium. On Saturday, the county sheriff's office responded to a fire on Wolverine Street. 2 residents were outside when deputies arrived, and 1 was inside on the second floor. The exterior second floor entrance was fully engulfed, and responders were unable to access it from inside the first floor. After the fire was contained, 15-year-old Xavier Sever was found dead on the second floor. At this time, the Sheriff's Department is still investigating the cause of the fire. After Russia unleashed a massive attack on Ukraine recently, killing nearly a dozen people, President Trump seems to be growing more frustrated with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp now joins us live. Rachel, good evening. What's the latest on the situation?
Well, good evening, Kevin. So President Trump and President Putin recently had a phone call with each other, and that's when the Kremlin said that Russia and Ukraine will work on a peace memorandum together. However, Russia recently launched a massive strike against Ukraine, and so now the president seems like he is changing his view and patience with Putin. On Russia and Ukraine, the State Department says President Trump is still working towards a ceasefire agreement.
President Trump and Secretary Rubio have said multiple times that this is not a war that can be solved through the military and through violence, that it has to be done diplomatically.
Not too long ago, the president and Putin had a phone call where the president claims Russia and Ukraine would begin ceasefire talks. Over these past few days, the president has shared a couple of comments on his Truth Social account and to reporters, seemingly frustrated at President Vladimir Putin following one of the deadliest missile attacks to hit Ukraine in months, killing at least 12 people and injuring dozens.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all.
The Kremlin called Trump's comments emotional overload. And on Tuesday, the president shared this on his Truth Social account, quote, "What Vladimir Putin doesn't realize is that if it weren't for me, lots of really bad things would have already happened to Russia. And I mean really bad. He's playing with fire," end quote. Some say the president has had a more sympathetic view of Putin and more critical of Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. Just a few months ago, Zelensky and Trump had a tense Oval Office meeting.
Gambling with the lives of millions of people.
Zelensky and the president have since met, and tensions have seemed to cool. But the recent change in tone towards Putin has been noticeable.
President Putin is getting a sense of President Trump's anger at the nature of what's transpiring. We are calling for restraint and urge all parties to avoid further escalation.
Now, President Trump is still very critical of Zelensky. He also wrote on a Truth Social post over the weekend, quote, "Zelensky is doing his country no favors by talking the way he does. Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it, and it better stop," end quote. Reporting live for WZMQ 19 News, I'm Rachel Knapp. Kevin, back to you.
Rachel, thank you as always. High drug prices are shaping into a major policy issue in Washington. The issue is nothing new, but it has been receiving a lot more attention as the Trump administration, lawmakers, and community pharmacy advocates look to crack down on the middlemen accused of making it worse. Our other Washington, D.C. correspondent, Brendan Scanlon, reports on the latest push for Pharmacy Benefit Manager, or PBM, reform.
They were originally designed to act as a middleman between pharmacies and insurance companies to negotiate costs and discounts. But as more Americans shifted from paying out of pocket to relying on insurance, PBMs began playing a much bigger and more profitable role.
Over time, that good idea has morphed into something that has allowed them to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner for all things prescription drugs.
Now, Doug Hoy and community pharmacists across the country are sounding the alarm, calling PBMs a root cause of both high drug costs and widespread pharmacy closures.
Pharmacies are in trouble from an economic standpoint. It's not a little guy problem, but the big guys are closing too. Walgreens, Rite Aid, even CVS, which owns its own PBM.
And when pharmacies close, patients suffer.
So less choice, less places for people to go to get their medicine.
Hoy says PBMs are overcharging government programs like Medicaid and Medicare, which means taxpayers are footing the bill.
Are taxpayers getting ripped off by PBMs?
100%. There is runaway waste with the way that the PBMs are managing the drug benefit for our taxpayer dollars. This legislation that we're supporting would save taxpayers $5 billion.
Reforms would require PBMs to be more transparent and compensate pharmacies based on drug costs plus a simple dispensing fee.
Boil it all down, what we're advocating for is a simpler process, a more transparent process, and a more predictable process.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers like Congressman Nick Langworthy are joining the push to rein PBMs in.
It's wrong. It's a legalized monopoly. And it's set up to essentially crush the little guy, and we're not going to tolerate it anymore.
With pharmacy doors closing and patients paying more, reformers say the clock is ticking and the pressure is on for Congress to act. Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WZMQ 19 News.
Your first warning weather forecast is after the break. Plus, state leaders are meeting on Mackinac Island for the annual Mackinac Policy Conference. We'll have a preview of the week ahead after this.
Let's get the party started.
About damn time.
Oh. I love it.
Wow! You are so getting lucky tonight.
I'm done being disrespected.
Should be quite a show.
Spectacular.
Beyond the Gates. New CBS weekdays and streaming on Paramount+.
Better begins with the way we see each other. Better begins with the way we treat each other. Better begins with the way we care for each other. Better begins at Aspirus Health. Bringing out the better in all of us.
Tony's Green Thumb in Bark River is open for business. Tony's is your one-stop shop for all your garden and flower needs. Known for a huge variety of big, beautiful baskets, gorgeous planters, and over 600 varieties of vegetables and flowers to choose from. Open daily, come see why people travel over 100 miles to Tony's Green Thumb. Tony's Green Thumb, where beautiful gardens begin.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Shunk Furniture.
It's Shunk Furniture's outdoor sale. A truckload of quality Amish-made furniture just arrived, over 200 pieces to choose from. Everything from pub tables and stools to end tables in the latest colors, like the Packers, Northern, even purple, or custom order in the colors you like. Adirondack chairs come 4 ways: the regular height seat, the folding, the glider, and the high seat to make it easy to get up. You can order benches and picnic tables too in the colors you like. Shop Shunks of Marquette today.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in into Marquette. We did hit 69 degrees for that high temperature when the average is 67, so slightly above average for the high temperature, and we were slightly below average for that low temperature, but there is going to be a warm up in the near future. I'll tell you when in just a few minutes here, but right now temperatures into the mid 60s, 66 for Marquette, 70 down to Iron Mountain, 73 for Newberry, so lots of 70s in here too. We are getting still a little bit of that northern wind, northeastern wind into Marquette because of a high pressure system. So we're thankful that that's kind of keeping the rain out of the area, but we are getting a little bit chilled, especially for Marquette. But here's a look at that rain that is in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Again, the winds are kind of helping that, pushing that out of here, so not much of that is going to creep into the area, but can't rule out a few more of those light drizzles out to the western portions of the Upper Peninsula through the rest of the evening. We're seeing a little bit of that now, maybe not all of this actually reaching the ground just because it is still fairly dry, but again, a few drops, a few drizzles for the rest of the evening time, but that will clear out. Sky's not clearing out all too much. We'll still have partly to mostly cloudy skies for most of your day tomorrow, so really just on and off cloud cover is what we're going to be tracking. Maybe a few drops out to Newberry, Sault Ste. Marie as you head through your Thursday morning, but otherwise we're not tracking a major rainmaker over the next few days. That's because of the high pressure system. It's going to take a little bit for that to move on out of here, but if you want to try to see an International Space Station, tonight's going to be visible for 6 minutes. If you look to the west southwest and then to the south southwest, it'll have a maximum height of 32 degrees at 10:31 p.m. So sometimes when I show you these things and it's at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning, I think a lot of you may be up at this time, just have your fist in the horizon. That's 10 degrees, and then if you move that up 2 more, that's kind of where it would be. I know some people don't always know what to look for. I had to learn that myself. So try to get out and see that tonight. Should be partly cloudy skies. You might be able to see it at around that time. But here's the warming trend. You'll see it on the 7-day in a few seconds. Really going to be seeing above average temperatures. That average high in the upper 60s. We'll be seeing close to the upper 70s. But for tonight, we'll keep it comfortable. These are very seasonal temperatures for the overnight. Maybe a little bit chilled still. But again, we are trending warmer, but we're going to have cloudy skies overnight. And on a 7-day, here we have 62 degrees. We'll be into the mid to lower 60s tomorrow. We're going to get a little bit of a warm up just ahead of the weekend. Going to be a little chilled for the weekend, kind of a roller coaster before we can get to next week. We're into the mid 70s. For your Monday and Tuesday, that's likely even going to continue into the next week ahead. So we're looking at above average temperatures of even up to 10 degrees. So that is something to look forward to as you head through the week.
Kelly, thanks again. Michigan's leaders are meeting this week for one of the largest gatherings for lawmakers and state officials, the annual Mackinac Policy Conference. From politics to business and education, big conversations are underway. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy is there with a look at day one.
Each spring, the historic Grand Hotel becomes a hub for policy talk and networking. The Mackinac Policy Conference draws out hundreds of Michigan's top decision makers, all focused on shaping the state's future. This year, the agenda includes economic revitalization, clean energy investment, and expanding access to education. I'll be on the island all week, bringing you exclusive interviews from candidates running for governor, announcements from the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, and talks with the director of Michigan State Police and the Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy. With lawmakers, CEOs, and advocates all under one roof, this week could spark ideas and action that ripple across the state. This week on Mackinac Island, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Coming up next for Foster Care Month, we're highlighting a Delta County nonprofit dedicated to helping children. We'll tell you about the UP Foster Closet when we come back.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget, we're
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
When migraine strikes, do you question the trade-offs of treating? Ubrelvy is another option. It works fast, and most have migraine pain relief within 2 hours. You can treat it anytime, anywhere. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Don't take if allergic or with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Get help right away for allergic reactions like trouble breathing, face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, which may occur hours to days after. Side effects include nausea and sleepiness. Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Ubrelvy.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports. See the greatest names and the greatest games in all sports. Top 10 miracle finishes, top 10 comebacks. The 10 greatest women in sports. Want to see who's number one? Watch all the way to the end of the show. Sports fans love it, and you will too. That's The Shortlist, counting down the top 10 of everything in sports. Only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
She's inquisitive.
What led to this young lady finding you in this compromising situation?
And firm.
The only thing that matters in this particular courtroom, sir, is how I see it.
Watch Equal Justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS. You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. May is National Foster Care Month, but for an Escanaba organization, providing resources for kids in the foster system is a year-long endeavor. Our Escanaba reporter, Lily Simmons, has the story.
We provide items that are necessary for children in foster care or in the care of other people besides their biological parents. That could be grandfamilies, aunts, uncles, family friends. We provide everything from hygiene, diapers, beds, bedding, clothing, pretty much whatever they need free of charge to them.
Formerly under Foster Closet of Michigan, the UP Foster Closet of Delta County became an independent nonprofit in 2018. Since then, the number of children and foster families coming through the doors has increased dramatically.
When we first started, they were serving maybe 12 families a year. Our busiest month was August of last year, where we served 60 kids.
But thanks to the dedication of the small foster closet team and community donations, each of those kids has been able to get exactly what they needed.
It's cute to see them pick out clothes, or if they're here with a sibling, a lot of them will pick out stuff for their sibling rather than themselves, which is really adorable. As they're in here and shopping and picking stuff out, they'll open up, get a lot more animated, and get excited about it.
That experience and a new wardrobe can go far in developing kids' self-esteem.
A lot of them are in clothes that don't fit or are dirty or ripped and stained. This way we can give them a little boost and help them fit in with their peers a little better and give them that boost of self-confidence. As they're going through something that's pretty traumatic, it's nice for them to have stuff that's their own, that's new, that's clean, that is just theirs.
That's why the work of the UP Foster Closet of Delta County and the commitment of foster parents are so important in the lives of those children.
If you're willing and able, become a foster parent. There's, at any given time in the United States, 310 to 320,000 kids in foster care. There's a desperate need, not only nationwide, but in Michigan itself.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
To learn more about becoming a foster care provider or how to support the foster closet, visit WZMQ19.com. More and more patients are turning to a new treatment for a condition that causes ringing in the ears. The device tricks the brain with a tickle to the tongue. Stephanie Stahl has more details.
Silence really is golden for Clara Flores. This is what her days used to be filled with. The constant buzzing and ringing she heard is a condition called tinnitus that affects 25 million Americans.
This ringing that you hate and can't stand you cannot turn it off. You get depressed, you get angry, your relationships suffer.
But the maddening noise is not a hearing problem, according to Bala Cynwyd audiologist Gail Brenner.
Tinnitus is a sound that we perceive in our ears or head that's internally generated by the brain.
And now, for the first time, she says there's finally a treatment that works for most patients.
So this is the controller.
Lanier is an FDA-approved device that works with headphones and a tongue stimulator.
32 tiny little electrodes that stimulate the tongue with electrical pulses that feel like bubbly champagne. It's just a tiny little tingle, and that's all we need for the signal to transmit to the brain.
Lanier cost $4,000 and isn't covered by insurance. It worked for Clara, who listened to soothing sounds with the mouthpiece for 12 weeks, twice a day for half an hour.
It did magic to my brain.
The maker of Lanier says it works by retraining the brain not to hear the sounds from tinnitus that can be caused by loud noise, hearing loss, and infections.
We're teaching the brain to not pay attention to the tinnitus. It has been a game changer.
Clara thinks her tinnitus was caused by an infection, but she doesn't notice the buzzing anymore.
And now it's just like, oh yeah, I have it. It doesn't bother me. I forget about it.
Her brain refocused and noise-free, now with a new lease on life.
Research on the Lanier device showed that about 80% of the people who tested it had significant improvements. Mike Ludlam has your sports headlines after the break. He'll introduce us to Michigan Tech's newest hockey coach, and a Hancock native minor league hockey coach is bringing his team to the Kelly Cup Finals. We'll have the details after this.
Live CBS June 8th.
Experience the magic that only Broadway can bring.
CBS presents
The best of Broadway all in one night.
It's Broadway's biggest night, and CBS is your front row seat. Cynthia Erivo hosts the Tony Awards.
The Tony Awards. The Tony Awards.
Live June 8th on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
May is Maytag Month at Kirkish Furniture. It's the biggest sale of the year all month long on all Maytag major appliances. Buy 2 select laundry appliances and get up to $100 in bonuses. May is Maytag Month at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton.
Closed captioning sponsored by Range Bank of Upper Michigan.
Looking for your next level in real estate? Look no further than Next Home Superior Living. Stephanie's not just any realtor. She's energetic, talented, equipped with the latest technology, and decades of experience to serve you better. At Next Home Superior Living, we're not just selling homes. We're guiding clients and customers throughout the entire transaction. That's Stephanie Jones of Next Home. Visit stephaniesells.com and let her work with you for your next home. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose Next Home Superior Living for your extraordinary real estate journey.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the Window Store.
Why should you consider re-siding your home? Your home is the largest investment you'll make. Protect it with new siding installed by the experts at the Window Store. We offer a range of affordable, high-quality siding options, including premium ABC seamless steel siding with attractive financing options available. And we install all winter long across the entire UP. Schedule your appointment today and enjoy the Window Store experience for yourself. Your clear choice is the Window Store.
Good evening, everyone. Michigan Tech introduced its 23rd hockey head coach in program history this morning. Bill McCult won 2 national championships at the University of Michigan in the late 1990s as a player. He was a Tech assistant coach from 2011 through 2015. McCult replaces Joe Shawn. Shawn had a 154, 120, and 29 record with the Huskies over the past 8 seasons.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, did this come out of the blue a little bit for you? Were you surprised by this?
For sure. Very surprised by it. Mike didn't have any intention of leaving Lindenwood, wasn't actively searching for anything, and things expedited rapidly over the course of hours.
This is the most important side of it, gentlemen.
What's the Bill McCult style of hockey?
I think anybody knows me knows that I'm extremely passionate and competitive and working hard, and I want our team to play with discipline.
I'm seeing this similar to something you did a while back in a different sport. You didn't want Dan Metlack to leave. If you had a chance to get Bill McCall, you were going to do that, weren't you?
I was, and I think important right now, especially in the changing college landscape with the transfer portal, I think it's critical to make hires quickly, confidentially. I think you get your best pool of candidates when you can move in a confidential way. And I think for the student athletes, it's important to maintain consistency. Our student athletes, this is their world, is their sport, and I think anytime there's a head coaching change, it's very disruptive for them, and that was my purpose, was to minimize that for our athletes and our staff.
The CCHA is a competitive league, top to bottom, and I think a lot of respect for the other teams in it, but that's the expectation here. The McNaughton Cup has a rich history here, and that's the next step for this group.
Did you think Joe had gone as far as he could go?
I don't think so. His comments related to how things happened is accurate. He wanted more time, and we weren't willing to do that at this moment. We lost 2 assistant coaches to other positions, and it's really hard to hire in that scenario, which is what prompted the decision and the move.
That's what we're here to do, and we're here to develop you into the best versions of yourself.
In minor league hockey, Toledo Walleye head coach Pat Mickish of Hancock and his team have advanced to the Kelly Cup Finals in the ECHL after eliminating the Kansas City Mavericks 5-2 on Saturday. Former Michigan Tech standout Trenton Bliss, number 18, scored twice for the Walleye. The Walleye won the Western Conference Final 4-1. Job now, Mickish is trying to keep his players focused.
At peak right now, and the guys are overly excited at this point, and it will be nice to have the week here to prepare and reset ourselves for what a big challenge we have in front of us. These guys will do anything for each other, and then to soak up the last couple minutes after the empty netter was just we know it's such a special environment, but to have moments like this make it even better.
The Walleye will meet the winner of the Eastern Conference Finals for the Kelly Cup. The Trois-Rivières Lions lead the Florida Everblades in that series 3-2, with Game 6 set for tonight in Florida. The Upper Peninsula Sports Hall of Fame will host a 4-person, 18-hole scramble at the Pictured Rocks Golf Club in Munising on Saturday, July 26th. There is a $320 entry fee. This includes 18 holes of golf, dinner, and cash prizes. Carts are not included in the entry fee. Those are $30 per cart. Money raised will go to the Sports Hall of Fame's scholarship program for high school seniors. The deadline to sign up is July 1st. For more information, plus being a gold, silver, or whole sponsor, you can contact DJ Paquette at area code 906-202-0725. Now, also regarding the UP Sports Hall of Fame, if you have a candidate who should be nominated, the deadline for that is June 1st or this Sunday. Please contact Anna Koenig in Rapid River for more information. Her email address is annokoenig@gmail.com. Tigers are back in action tonight against the San Francisco Giants. The Milwaukee Brewers will once again take on the Boston Red Sox. Let's see if those two teams can get some winning streaks going. Kelly and Kevin will be right back.
Car insurance for seniors can be very expensive.
But don't assume that just because you're over 65 that you've got to pay outrageously high rates.
Are you paying too much for your auto insurance? If so, you're just throwing your money away.
Well, now is the time to check on your auto insurance rates.
You may be able to save a lot of money.
So call the number on your screen right now and find out how much you can save.
1-800-799-6506.
Yes. Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
The greatest sportsmen and women. Icons of our time and beyond. Peerless performances. Champions in a class of their own. Legacies without equal. Timeless quality, superbly crafted stories showcasing the greatest sports heroes and their incredible winning moments. The Immortals, the greatest athletes of all time.
Welcome back. Final check of your forecast. We had very seasonal conditions for today, and that will continue into tonight. We're still hanging on to some sunshine into downtown Marquette on our 19 News Skycam, and we do have a few drizzles, a few light drops, but that will clear out through the rest of the evening. Not seeing too much rain for tonight and even for tomorrow. Low temperatures into the mid to upper 40s, and over the next 7 days, it'll be chilly, a little bit of a roller coaster into the weekend, but we welcome June 1st on Sunday, which also welcomes some warmer temperatures.
Sounds good to me, Kelly. Thanks again. That's all the time we have for right now. More headlines coming your way at 11:10 Central. We'll see you then.